Hi guys, so this is Leopard Gecko Talk here. A while back I did 10 reasons leopard geckos make great pets. Now, I can't find many cons to having a gecko. I think they're pretty great pets. But what I'm going to do in this video is sort of list things that you can't ignore. These things that some people actually do, and I'm just going to list these as don'ts, basically. Do not do these things. There's quite a big list, so I'm going to be brief on some of them, but otherwise this video would be so long. Visually, I'm not really sure what to do with this video, so we are filming Gizmo's vivarium, and here is Gizmo. Yeah, so she's going to just present this. Okay, number one. If you can't afford things like hides, vivarium, water bowl, live food, don't get a gecko, okay? Save up for all that stuff first before getting a gecko. I only saying this because when I announced a giveaway, I'm not going to name names, but I actually got a few people say to me, I can't afford stuff for my gecko, so can I have a hide? Okay, that wasn't the whole point of the giveaway, but for me I just find that really sad that someone's just gone and got a gecko but can't afford anything else. And even though geckos are really hardy, so they rarely get ill, always have money aside just in case they get ill, because vets can be expensive, and also know if you have a local vet that deals with reptiles. Number two, before you get a gecko, make sure you have their setup ready and complete, so when they arrive at your house, because obviously it's probably a stressful journey, make sure they're able to go straight in the vivarium, it's nice and warm and everything's set up. The last thing you want to do is have a gecko in a little box while you rush around trying to get things in the vivarium. So think whether you're planning to go to uni, because a lot of people seem to want geckos when they're teenagers. I was definitely one of them, and you've got to really think. These live for over 20 years, and when you go to uni sometimes you can't take the geckos, so what's going to happen to them then? And also if you go on holiday, who's going to look after them? When you first get a gecko, make sure you only get one or two. I say this because I saw a video the other day, and this guy who sounded about like 9, maybe 9 or 10, I think it's for his first leopard geckos ever, he ordered over 20 geckos. For me, that's incredibly irresponsible. Looking after one leopard gecko, especially if it's your first gecko, there's so much to learn about handling their behaviour, getting used to feeding them and the temperature, that if you go out and buy a load, it's just crazy. And I think the reason he got so many is because he wanted to breed them, which smoothly moves me on to the next point. To me, I just don't understand people buying a gecko only to breed. When someone says I'm going to get them to breed, it just sort of feels like you're having them as an object to produce something so you can sell it and make money. For me, first and foremost, my reptiles are like all my pets are the most important thing to me. They're up there with my family. Like, seriously, I love my pets, and it breaks my heart to see people just use these creatures as just ways to earn money. And definitely another point I'll make is, don't think you can get rich from selling reptiles. Watch any big breeder on YouTube and they will tell you exactly the same thing. You don't get loads of money like you think you would. Next point, understand that if you're getting a gecko, live food is your second pet. You have to look after it, it has to be healthy, kept in healthy conditions, because this is what your gecko is going to eat. And if you want your gecko to be healthy, the food they're going to eat has to be healthy. And so you have to provide them with a box. So if you're going to go out and buy crickets, make sure you have a box to put them in. They need a bit more room than the box they come in. And give them either bug gel or fresh fruit. Okay, next point, if you get bored of animals easily, like if you have a pet like a guinea pig and they're awake and they're active and you have them for about 5 years and you sort of had enough of them, don't go looking for a gecko. The reason I say this, like, I don't get bored of them, I find them really interesting, but if you get bored of pets easily, leopard geckos will live for over 20 years, as I said, and they're not that active. Now, it is 10 to 3 in the morning right now. Many of you know on Instagram that I am nocturnal, so this is just normal for me. So I get to see them when they're most active, and I think Gizmo's climbing up her tree, or behind her tree. But yeah, in the day they're probably doing nothing. So if you get bored of pets easily, don't get a gecko. Make sure they're given proper food when they're young. I know it's tempting to go out and buy roaches and silkworms and super worms and all the other stuff the pet shops sell. But for me, I would say feed them gut-loaded crickets. And another thing is, I get asked this so much. Honestly, it's probably once a day. So this is the final time I'm gonna answer this question. If anyone asks me in the comment section below, I'm not gonna answer this anymore. How often do you feed them? So 0 to 6 months, every day. 6 months to a year, every other day. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And over a year, every 4 days. Reason you don't feed them every day as an adult is because they'll just get obese, and that's a very common thing with reptiles in captivity. People just don't understand that naturally they wouldn't have food all the time, so their body isn't evolved to just constantly eat. Don't use sand, that's obvious. Don't use light bulbs. I've already had this whole discussion, I'm not going to go over it again. Waxworms aren't good as a staple diet because they're really fatty. They're more of like just a treat. Make sure you are able to afford vitamins and calcium, because honestly without them your geckos are going to be so ill. It's incredibly important. Next one, do your research. But obviously if you're watching this video now, you've probably done that, so I don't really have to mention it. And finally, don't assume 2 geckos will go together fine. Oh god, Gizmo, what are you doing? Giz! She's coming. Can you see her? You can see Gizmo's nose just there. Okay, so back to the point. Don't assume 2 geckos will be fine together. Someone asked me about this because they had a female and they were going out to buy another female to add to the tank. Firstly, you would probably need at least a 3-foot tank for 2, and they don't always get on. You would never house a young gecko with a full-size gecko because they can get eaten. 2 females can go together, but you'd have to gradually get them together, and it would have to be completely neutral. Like, really, geckos are solitary, they can live in groups, but if you just plonk another gecko in here, they'll be territorial and they will fight. Don't house a boy and girl together because the girl will get extremely stressed because the boy keeps trying to breed with her. And do not, under any circumstances, house 2 males together because they will fight, and actually one will probably die. Gizmo! Okay. Do you know, I swear she doesn't do that very often, but this is the kind of stuff they get up to at night. So yeah, as if they're quite active at night. Anyway, hopefully this video hasn't gone on too long, and I salute you if you've watched this whole thing. If you're thinking of getting a gecko soon, subscribe, because I have loads of videos that will hopefully help you out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you very much. And for Gizmo's professionalism once again, if you like, give it a thumbs up, and especially if this was helpful, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. So thank you all for watching.